Welcome to Talk Noah, where we talk about life not as a lesson, but as a moment, and today's moment lives inside an airport lounge where the chairs are comfortable, the coffee is free, and the thoughts are heavier than the luggage.
There are places in the world that don't belong fully to where you came from or where you're going next, and an airport lounge is one of them, because everyone here is paused, suspended between decisions, destinations, and versions of themselves they're quietly carrying. If you're listening to this while waiting for something in your own life to move forward, stay with us.
Because this story isn't about flying.
It's about waiting. I chose this seat near the window, even though the glass doesn't show much from here, just a few stationary planes and blinking lights, because somehow sitting here makes me feel like I'm closer to movement, even when I'm completely still.
Most people sit near the charging points or the food counter, but the ones who choose the window usually aren't here for comfort. They're here because they need to feel like something is happening, even if it's just outside.
I didn't even realize how tired I was until I sat down, because standing and walking make you feel busy, but sitting forces you to notice what your body and mind have been carrying quietly.
That's the strange thing about lounges. They are designed to relax you physically, but they end up waking you up emotionally.
Everyone around us looks calm, scrolling on their phones, sipping coffee, laughing softly, and yet I can't stop thinking about how each person here is carrying a story that didn't fit inside their suitcase.
And for a few hours, nobody asks what that story is, which makes this place feel safer than most parts of the world.
I keep checking the time, even though I know my flight isn't boarding yet. And I think I do that because waiting without checking feels like losing control, even though checking doesn't actually change anything.
Waiting is uncomfortable because it reminds us that some things move on their own schedule, no matter how organized or prepared we think we are.
I told myself this trip was necessary, practical, well-planned, but sitting here now, with nothing to do but think, I realize how much of it was also about escaping a feeling I didn't know how to explain.
Airports are full of people who call their escape travel because it sounds more acceptable.
Do you ever notice how people behave differently in lounges? Like they speak softer, move slower, and almost treat time with more respect, as if rushing here would feel disrespectful.
That's because lounges are one of the few places where productivity is not expected, and when people are not expected to perform, they slowly return to themselves.
I wish daily life had lounges, places where you could sit without explaining why you're not doing anything.
Maybe conversations like this are the closest thing we have.
I've been thinking about how my life looks fine on paper, stable job, routine, responsibilities handled, and yet there's this constant background feeling that I'm living someone else's version of a good life.
That feeling usually shows up when you finally stop moving, which is why so many people avoid sitting still unless they absolutely have to.
Sitting here makes me wonder how many decisions I made just to keep things smooth, even when smooth wasn't what I actually wanted.
Smooth lives are comfortable, but comfort without honesty eventually starts to feel heavy.
I like that nobody in this lounge knows me, because it means I don't have to protect any image. I don't have to sound confident, successful, or sure.
Temporary places allow temporary honesty, and sometimes that honesty stays with you longer than the place itself.
It's strange how talking to someone I just met feels easier than talking to people who've known me for years.
That's because strangers don't carry expectations of who you should be.
I don't know what I'm expecting from this trip anymore, but I know that sitting here has already given me something unexpected, which is the space to admit that I don't have everything figured out.
Admitting that quietly, without drama or judgment, is often the most important part of any journey.
This is what an airport lounge really is.
Not luxury, not comfort, not free snacks.
It's a pause.
A pause where people meet themselves between where they were and where they're going.
If you're listening to this and feeling stuck, delayed, or in between, maybe you're not behind.
Maybe you're just in your own lounge moment.
Thank you for sitting with us.
We'll see you when life starts moving again.